we're here to work on your problem. And we're going to work something out with the tarot. So get comfy, get yourself a hot cup of tea or some other type of beverage of your choice. Sit back, relax, and allow me to help you work through this. Alright, we have a lot to talk about, but before we do, I'd like to ask you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, if you enjoy this type of content, and if you would like to receive a personal private reading, check out my website. You can commission a reading with me there. So, we're going to start by taking a couple of deep breaths. Whatever is going on, however stressful or urgent it might seem in the moment, there's nothing to say that you cannot take a little bit of a break from it. And we are here to do just that. You're taking a break from your problem and you're also working on it at the same time. So, I'd like to ask you to take a very, very deep breath in first. Allow the air to fill your lungs. Allow your heart rate to slow down. Your mind, your consciousness to become more relaxed. Do this a couple of times. Let your subconscious know that you're here, that you have arrived. You're here to work this out. We're going to use the tarot and the power of your subconscious mind to figure out an action plan. How does that sound? Okay. So, first things first. We're going to have 3 different aspects. So, I'd like you to think about your problem through the lens of these 3 aspects. The first aspect is mental and emotional. Mental and emotional. Okay? The second aspect is spiritual. And the third aspect is pragmatic. So, in a sense, all 3 aspects are the same, but they are also different. And they can mean different things to different people. So, let's start by trying to figure out what these mean. The first aspect, the mental, emotional aspect, speaks to the cognitive reality of your situation. And this is the realm where mental health belongs as well. So whatever is going on with you due to external circumstances or whatever it may be, it has an internal reality attached to it, a reality of feelings and thoughts, and that's the mental and emotional realm. And then also, there's a spiritual aspect to it, which goes deeper. This is where learning happens. This is the path of your soul towards ascension, towards self-development. There's a spiritual reality to this situation that's perhaps the most difficult to see. And the third one, the pragmatic aspect, is where problem solving happens very often. Of course, our problem solving strategy is going to connect with all three. But the pragmatic field is where you make decisions, where you take action, where you connect with the mundane, where you connect with the everyday form of existence. So the tarot is going to give you advice considering these three aspects. And we're going to start with the first one. And before I pull the card, I'd like to check in with how you are doing at this moment. So just try and investigate a little bit your internal state, mentally, emotionally. What kind of thoughts and feelings are you experiencing now? Just check in with yourself a little bit. Okay. Now, let's talk about the second aspect here. I'm going to draw another card to speak about that. And finally, the pragmatic guidance. Okay, I hope you're still doing all right. Don't worry, we are close. We're close to the solution. So first off, the mental and emotional plane, we have the Four of Swords. The spiritual plane is where we have the Ace of Swords. And the pragmatic plane is where we have the Knight of Pentacles. All right. So, let's start with the mental and emotional realm. The Four of Swords. There is a frozenness. There's a sense of detachment that is very pronounced and very characteristic of the Four of Swords. With the Four of Swords, you have a disconnect from the external world. Your feelings and emotions are slowing down. They are becoming detached much less and less connected with the external, and that's actually a really good thing. As you're doing this work, as you're taking your time to try and work through this, you're isolating yourself from the hustle and bustle of the external realities of this situation. You are making it obvious to your subconscious that you need some time away from this. You need a break. You need to rest. And you need a safe space to heal. So your thoughts and emotions, they exist in kind of a safe bubble right now. And that's for the best. There might be a little bit of denial going on, but that is oftentimes necessary. It's the ego's strategy of self-preservation. So let's not interfere with that. If you are in a little bit of denial regarding some things, that's okay. It's very human. So don't worry about that. In terms of what's going on the spiritual level, well, the Ace of Swords is the card of inventiveness. There's a need to ultimately break free of the shackles of the Four of Swords. There's a need to move away from established and somewhat outdated and obsolete patterns of thinking. And a great idea is making its way through hyperspace to land eventually in your consciousness. But this might be a process that might take some time. In a spiritual sense, it is the experience of liberation from a sticky situation that your soul is after. It's the experience of finding a way out. It's kind of like a riddle that your spirit is posing to you. And riddles are harmless, completely harmless. So this is more or less kind of like a game. Even if at face value it might seem somewhat intimidating or annoying or even anxiety inducing. It's just a game that you're playing with yourself, with your subconscious, and everything is fine. And on the pragmatic level, the Knight of Pentacles is speaking to the practical reality of what self-motivation is like, how difficult it is, how difficult it is to achieve a state of mind where you can be continuously strong and motivated and productive. And the Knight of Pentacles does not really aim for that mindset. The Knight of Pentacles is all about appreciating the small steps that you can take towards resolving your problem. So, to take it to this very practical level, the Knight of Pentacles is asking you, what is the next best thing that you can do? It's understandable that perhaps you cannot see a way out of your situation right now. That's completely understandable. But there are some actions that you can for sure take that will contribute to a positive flow of events. You don't have to think of really, really big things. Sometimes when we're facing a daunting task of sorts, perhaps a moral dilemma or a big decision that we want to take or make for our own benefit or for the benefit of others, the intention to do good is there, but the motivation is missing. And the reason for that is that it just seems so daunting. It seems so outside of the scope of what is possible. Now, in order to rise above this, the Knight of Pentacles is asking you to find something that is within reach, perhaps literally. So take a look around you, where you are right now. If you had your eyes closed up until this point, and if you're not too sleepy, try to take a look around and check your environment for those types of practical things that you can start doing to make some aspect of this situation better, whether that's the mental and emotional realm, whether you can do something for your mental health, whether it's this spiritual reality, whether you can induce within yourself a sort of connection with your spiritual self, or whether it's something pragmatic, something that will make your life a little bit easier, more organized. Perhaps it's just taking an item from one place to another. Maybe that's all it does. Maybe that's all there is to it. From point A to point B. Perhaps that's all it is, but even if it's a drop in the bucket is eventually going to be full. So the Knight of Pentacles is asking you to have this mindset, in a practical sense, to have the mindset of gratitude for the small things and not having way too high expectations, unrealistic expectations, but to take things as they come, step by step. Thank you for watching. I wish you the best. See you next time.